Dirty.
Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. G-Moose here. Today we have Jungo on the lanes throwing the Honey Badger Intensity and the Zen from 900 Global. The new Honey Badger Intensity features the Grapnel 2.0 core wrapped with the S70 solid cover stock. And this is very interesting because we have a mid-performance asymmetric solid ball. This is very interesting because most asym solids are the big tanks like the Proton Physics, the Obsession, and the Reality, all big tanks. And we have the Zen, which features the Meditate core and the S77 Response Pearl cover stock. As you can see, in front of me I got a whole lot of balls with me. We'll compare this Honey Badger to the Rubicon, which is an upper mid asymmetric solid ball from Roto Grip. And we'll compare the Zen to the Belmo Trend. And the Trend features the piston core as well as the R2S Pearl reactive cover stock. So we'll be using these asymmetric solid balls on 37-foot Broadway, and we'll use these pearls on 41-foot beaten path. For our solid comparison, we believe that the Rubicon will slightly outhook the Honey Badger. And for our pearls here, we believe that the Zen will outhook the Trend because of the core numbers and the cover stock strength. Thanks to Thomas and Gus, our lane technicians here at Lucky 9, for oiling our lanes and making sure our machines run smooth. Let's see if we're right. Jung?
Jungo's back. Another 900 Global day. So we got the Honey Badger Intensity. Bowling 37 feet here. Honey Badger Intensity. Weaker end of the spectrum for asymmetric bowling balls. So I think something like a 37-foot pattern is going to be really good because you want that ball rolling pretty early and pretty smooth, right? Because there's lots of dry boards down lane. Something like urethane, or if there's lots of oil, you know, an asymmetric solid that's really smooth is really going to be good. So let's give it a shot here. All right, as you can see, ball starts up really early and really smooth transition. Right, that was 3 left of the previous shot. Got around it a little bit there. So since I did get around it a little bit, hooked a little hard off the spot, which I wanted. So let's stay in the same spot, just be a little bit more up the back of it. Be much smoother when it exits the pattern. On short patterns, if you have a sharp hook shape, you're gonna bowl like 120. Let's try and smooth that up. Got up the back of that a little bit better. Still a little bit strong for that line. So let's move 3 more to the left and try and get to that same spot. Should be perfect. Wow, still a forfeit. Crazy. All right, that looked really good. Just wrapped the 10 there. So we're about 15 at the arrows, out to about 5, which is pretty standard for like a 37-footer. Just wrap the 10 there. Let's throw the Rubicon on the same line. I think the Rubicon's gonna strike. It's a little bit more continuous, I think. All right, exactly. Rubicon. A little bit more ball, a little bit more boards covered down lane, a little bit more continuous. So you can see like the Honey Badger there, so wrap the 10, and the Rubicon went dead flush. So slightly weaker of the Honey Badger to the Rubicons, which are like HP3. So not a totally high-end asymmetric. So that's a good sign, right? Gives you another option of the asymmetric ball that's a little bit weaker. So the Rubicon looked really good there. Let's go 5 left with the Rubicon. See how continuous that is off the back end of a shorter pattern? Really, really good. But you know, playing that far inside on a short is not really ideal. If the ball hooks this much on like shorter patterns, I would probably go to my pitch black and play a little bit more direct, like up 5 or up 7. Not swinging the whole friggin' lane. Let's go back to the Honey Badger. Same line as the Rubicon there. Should be a little flatter off the spot and hook a little bit less, so might leave another 10 pin here. Actually missed slightly left at the arrows, but that's all right. As you can see, it was flatter, not as continuous as the Rubicon. Almost a pocket 710. Got lucky, got the 7-0. Let's move back a couple to the right, throw a good strike. Good shot there. 10 went a little bit late, so let's go one more right, and should be perfect. Oh, that was dirty. All right, middle of the review, question time with Jungo. My question is, if a new ball releases and you really want it, are you gonna buy it right away and be the first guy with it? Or are you gonna wait a little bit, watch other people throw it, watch some ball reviews, and then make your decision? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's head over to the next lane, 41 feet beaten path. Let's check out this new Zen from Global 900. All right, beaten path with the Zen. Against the Storm Trend. Threw a few warm-up shots here, so I have a good idea where to play. Let's try 20 at the arrows. That looked okay. I think I got the bump a little bit right. Ball just a little half hit there. I was watching the Tournament of Champions. This ball looks really good. Later in the day, we need to get left, really make that ball corner down lane. One right here. 19 at the arrows. Let's see if we can hit a flush. Wow, just one right there. Threw it pretty good. So I went kind of half hit, 10, one right, 4 pin. This ball really responsive to dry. That's gonna be pretty similar with all shiny balls in the upper mid, high end area. The cores are strong, right? So as soon as that cover stock hits the dry board, it's gonna take off on it. Let's go back. One right, one left, I mean. All right, slowed it down a bit. Missed a little bit left. One board at the arrows there, but that's okay. Went through the pins pretty good. I'm gonna compare it to the Trend. As you saw in my ball review of the Trend, really good for burn, really good for inside angles, right? So let's give it a shot. I think this is gonna be a little bit weaker than the Zen. I think it's gonna go a little bit further down lane and hook a little bit less. Yeah, the Zen cornered really hard from there. Smoked the pocket. Trend just a little bit lazy compared to the Zen. Zen would be a nice step up. Wow, that ball hooked from there. I missed the hair right too, from where I threw the Trend. Trend barely hit the head pin. This thing came all the way back, smoked the pocket, left a little bit of weak 10, but that's okay. So obviously this ball is made for a little bit later in the block, maybe third game of league when there's lots of traffic on the lanes. This ball is really gonna slide through the front because every time you throw a ball, oil's getting picked up from the front, brought to the back. When you really need a ball that slides through the front, corners really hard in the back end. As you can see, it's 4-ish boards stronger than the Trend. Just a couple shots I've thrown, so let's move 4 left here. Yeah, this ball's good. Doesn't quite have enough to get back from that far inside. Let's see if we can make it do that by slowing down the speed. Whew, a little slower speed, that ball sure kicked left down lane. Really, really nice to see that it's responsive to speed changes like that. Okay, let's do the bell mode Trend on that same line there. I think might leave like a weak 10. Yeah, just what we saw a little bit earlier, playing a little bit in the middle of the lane there, just hooks, maybe 4 boards less. If you have a Trend, you need something a little bit stronger, Zen would be good, Axiom Pearl would be good. Let's go 4 more left with the Zen. We're probably out of the striking zone with the Trend, so. A little weak there. All right, let me see if I can just loft it a hair and make it corner down there. Oh, that ball will come back. If you slow it down, loft it a hair, that ball will hook a ton in the backhand. Okay, let's go talk to myself back in the shop.
Jungo's back in the shop after throwing the Honey Badger and the Zen. You know, these balls are pretty good. Let me tell you why. First, we started on the left lane with 37 feet Broadway. I thought that would be a good pattern for the Honey Badger because it's a weaker asymmetric solid. The asymmetric stuff, they kind of want you to play a little bit straighter because they start up a little sooner and have a little bit smoother shape down lane. So I thought something like a 37 foot would be ideal because you want that ball to start up nice and early, be nice and smooth, but you still need a little bit of strength, right? Sometimes a pitch black or something like that's not strong enough for 37 feet or high volume shorter patterns. So we gave it a test on that. It did exactly what I expected, was early, smooth, a little bit flat off the spot compared to the Rubicon, which was definitely stronger, 3 to 4 boards stronger and more continuous. And the Rubicon is not even a high-end asymmetrical piece. It's in the HP3 lineup, and this is even weaker than that. So I think there's definitely a spot for this somewhere. If you're bowling a lot of short patterns or shorter medium patterns and your urethane ball, like pitch black or something, is not quite enough lots of times. So something like the Honey Badger Intensity might be a really good ball for you, right? It's still gonna have that early smooth shape, but it's got that asymmetry and that stronger cover stock to really get you through there and hook a little bit more than the pitch black. I will say though that the Honey Badgers have been really good for a really long time. They just don't get the publicity they deserve because it's 900 global and not a big storm ball, right? So I think you'll be seeing a lot more of these in the storm guys' hands for sure. Now let's talk about the Zen. So lots of comments, lots of people come in the shop ask me if I've thrown the Zen. So I decided to get one, test it out, and this ball did not disappoint. Reminded me a lot of the Axiom Pearl actually, with how strong and how sharp it was. But I decided to throw it against the Belmo Trend because this is my favorite ball for later in the block on the burn, where I need the ball to really get through the fronts and not go crazy on me down lane, right? So this ball is definitely stronger, 4 boards or more, maybe 4 to 5, and it really cornered hard. And it really looked good when I slowed it down and got around it and let the ball turn the corner really hard down lane. As you can see, when I was playing a little bit straighter, it just, as soon as it hit the dry, it just took off on me. So a little bit unpredictable playing straighter, but once I got into the middle of the lane, more oil, it really looked good. If you're looking for something a little bit stronger than the Trend or an Idol Pro that just got discontinued, something similar to that, Zen, really nice. Really nice looking ball too, I like the colors. This review got a little bit of everything, right? You got a little Sim Pearl in the Zen, you got a little asymmetric solid in the Honey Badger, 2 different patterns. Yeah, we saw a little bit of everything today. I liked it. So here we can see where they fit on my everything graph, but neither of these balls are gonna make my 6-ball tournament bag if I'm not sure what the pattern is. But if I do know what the pattern is, and if it's shorter, bring in the Honey Badger for sure. And if it's a little bit higher friction surface or a little bit lighter volume pattern, I'm definitely gonna bring the Zen. Or if it's long format, 8 or 10 games, I'm definitely gonna bring the Zen for that. But if I don't know any of the variables, I don't know any of the information, these two will not be in my 6-ball tournament bag. So with our Pro Shop staff here, I think the most ideal person to have this Honey Badger would be Barks. As you can see, asymmetric solid, very flat, very smooth, so I think Barks would love this playing up 5. And as far as the Zen goes, I think this ball would really be good in Goots' hands. The slower I threw it, the more I got around it, the better it looked, and that's Goots' game. That's Goots all over. That's Goots. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really interesting vid coming up next. Brandon Riley, we're doing old tech versus new tech and the new Hellraiser return. So stay tuned for that. Peace out.